All right, welcome to our latest Swampcast. It's been a while, guys, and we're going to give you two of them. We're going to give you previews of spring football.
Their lucky day.
Yeah, I know. That's right. Previews of spring football will start today with the offense and the special teams. My favorite subject, the special teams.
Yeah.
They've been non-existent around here for a while.
They have been. Since Meyer left, really.
Exactly. So we're going to talk about those things. We're going to start out with the offense tomorrow, or the next time you watch one, it will be about defense. And Robbie and I are both going to give our predicted records.
Fearless prediction.
But we have the caveat that you never know when guys are going to get arrested.
Yeah, they haven't even had one practice yet, so.
I know. We're still going to throw it out there.
Why not?
Because based more on the schedule than anything else. All right, let's start with the offense. And Robbie, obviously the number one position is quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody has any idea who it's going to be. I actually put a poll up on Twitter, and Felipe Franks was the runaway winner, which a year or 6 months ago people would have gone, no! Anybody, you know, but
it's the belief in Mullen.
Yeah.
That's what it is, that he can develop this kid who has a bunch of talent.
And they've got to. I don't think they want to come out of spring knowing who their quarterback is.
No, they want that competition open.
But they might want to know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The coaches are probably going to have a good feel for who it's going to be.
Yeah. But it sounds like Mullen said that Franks is doing everything in the offseason, taking command of this team, a leader in the workout room. So the kid has a bunch of talent, Pat. If Mullen can get him in between his ears thinking right, he could be really something special.
Yeah, like, all right, the guy's not open, the guy's not open, the guy's not open, I'm throwing it anyway. You can't have that kind of play going on. But think about this. They're either going to have a guy who was totally inept at quarterback last year, a guy who's never played college quarterback in Emory Jones, a freshman, or another guy who's never played, hadn't really played in 3 years, in Kyle Trask. So it's going to be somebody that it's not like a locked in, we know who it is, and you know it's going to be successful.
Yeah, but the thing with Mullen, Pat, I think his offense is very quarterback friendly, where it's not real complicated, where I think they're asking Franks last year to do stuff that he just couldn't do, he wasn't ready to do. And so he failed, and I think
clearly he couldn't do it.
But you look at Mullen, had Tebow playing at a high level as a freshman.
Yep.
His guy this year came in for the A-Bowl and played pretty well as a true freshman. So I don't think it's real complicated.
Yeah, and he's had guys before. I mean, going back to Bowling Green and obviously Alex Smith.
Yeah.
So people believe that this is a real quarterback whisperer versus a guy who could get his dog to play quarterback.
That was the dumbest quote he ever made coming in because it's still out there.
I'm going to go with death threats.
That definitely
but it was up there.
That.
So obviously they're going to figure out the quarterback, and they're going to have more than one guy that can play the position. You know, I don't totally discount Jake Allen.
No, I don't either. You don't discount anybody at this point.
So you got four possibilities there. But to me, one of the biggest positions, wide receiver, because it's been a while since Florida's had multiple wide receivers who were not only threats but could go up and get the ball when it's up at its highest point.
Big guys. And if these two transfers are eligible, which I think they will be, I think it's going to be a huge boost, Pat.
Yeah.
I think the talent pool there is now pretty deep.
You know, it's so funny because I've talked to people who've told me that went to practices. We weren't allowed to go.
Yeah.
That went to practices that said these guys just don't get separation, and they're not being taught how to separate. I don't think they were well coached, and when they did get open, the quarterback usually didn't see him. So it was a bad combination.
It really was.
But they need guys to step up, whether it's the two transfers or one of the two transfers, whether Tyree Cleveland becomes a total receiver, not just a deep threat.
Yeah, just run down the field fast.
Whether it's some of the other guys, maybe Dre Massey's ready to have a year. I mean, they've got numbers, and obviously Jacob Copeland, and they've got some guys coming in. They've got talented. They got plenty of players. They just got to make plays.
Yeah. What I thought was a good sign, Pat, when we had Billy Gonzalez the other day, his big thing was you've got to find a way to separate. They weren't doing it before. He has ways. They did it when he was here.
Right.
They separate. That was a big goal for him. Get guys to know how to separate.
Yeah, make
it easier on your quarterback.
I was talking to the former head ball coach the other day, and he was talking about how these guys would run around and they would look to where they were going.
Yeah, like the DB knows where you're going to go then.
Instead of putting a foot in the ground and then going there, they were like, all right, I got to get over there. And the DB was just following him, whether he's watching them on film.
That's coaching, Pat. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
They weren't getting very good coaching. Let's go to tight ends, Robbie, which was a position totally underused last year.
Yeah.
They've got, again, talent there. but they will use it differently. It just was amazing to me that they had all these talented tight ends and never threw in the ball.
They never did. I mean, the only guys coming back are Lewis and Stevens. They combined for like 13 catches, so ineffective completely. And the other guys haven't played yet, and you got 2 true freshmen there. So, it's a key position in his offense. They're going to have to get guys ready to play.
Yeah, they are. And then, of course, the offensive line, Robbie. Last year, we were told how great it was. It wasn't. It underachieved, I thought.
Sure did.
Starting with the opening game. But it had its moments when it played well. It's got to play well all the time. And they're going to be, obviously, a different scheme this year with a running quarterback.
Yeah, and I think that helps the offensive line because you don't have to do a lot of thinking, nothing real complicated up front. And we kept hearing about toughness last year, Pat. They never looked tough. And now with this new weight thing, I think this team is going to be a lot tougher up front, which is going to be crucial.
It's funny. Every day I see them walking across towards the practice field when I'm going to do the radio show. And we were joking the other day. Doesn't look like an all-airport team. It's physically just that team. It doesn't look like Alabama. It doesn't look like some of these other teams, and that's where they've got to get to. It's not going to happen overnight.
No, it's going to happen over the summer and years to come. And you get that different approach. I mean, McElwain was this laid-back coach. You never seemed to put a lot of importance on the strength thing, and it reflected into the play of his team. They played laid back a lot of times.
And, the other thing is, well, one, Martez Ivey needs to be a leader, and he needs to be a big player. But the guys who were hurt last year, I wonder about where they're going to be. Brett Heggie, T.J. McCoy, they need to come back and be,
because there's not a lot. Yeah, there's not a lot of proven depth there, Pat. So, they need to come back and be productive.
No question about it. All right, quickly we'll go to special teams.
But you left out running back.
I know they're good. No, you're right.
The key there to me is, how does Jordan Scarlett come back from a year off?
Absolutely, no question.
If he does and he gets back to where he was, I think they're going to be really good there.
Yeah, Malik Davis could turn into the next John Agbunu. We don't know, when he's going to play or how much he's going to play. But they've got guys there with Pirine and the young guys that they've got coming in.
Lemons looked really good when he got the ball last year, so I think they got some real talent there.
I don't think that's going to be an issue.
No.
But they've got to continue to go. So quickly, we'll do special teams. Big bugaboo of mine that Florida has not blocked kicks, returned kicks, unless it was Antonio Callaway, and just special teams have, at best, has been a wash.
Yeah.
And they had the 2 best kickers in America, for my money, and still special teams at best was a wash.
I think it goes back to coaching, Pat. You've got a laid-back, old-school coach who wasn't real aggressive. They weren't aggressive going after kicks, and it wasn't like that when Meyer was here and when Mullen was here. And I think it's going to be a huge priority. And 2 of the guys he hired were special team coordinators last year, so there's going to be a huge emphasis on that.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt that it's okay to take a Chris Rainey type guy. I'm not saying they've got a guy like that, but somebody who can really run and who commits to it. And you run them up the middle and you block some kicks.
Yeah.
Look at all the games that Florida had, including the championship game in 06.
Absolutely.
Where the game changed because of special teams.
Yeah.
You remember, Robbie, us being up in Vanderbilt when Carlos Dunlap blocked those 2 rugby kicks.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the kind of things that happen all the time at Florida in the Meyer era.
Look at Jarvis Moss, too, Pat. I mean, they don't win the title.
They don't win the national championship without that. But those are things that slowly got away from Florida, and they've got to get it back. And
they did.
The good thing, as you said, Mullen's been around here. And
he knows.
And that's one last thing before we go to get out of here for this segment, and I wrote about this last week. Mullen, it just feels like this guy gets it a little bit more than the last few guys. And I'm not trying to bash McElwain. No. And I'm not trying to bash Muschamp and even Urban Meyer to a point. Urban Meyer came in. There was no, his speeches were dull and boring, and I just want to get out of here. Mullen wants to be here, and I think it's exactly what the Gator Nation needed.
It does. I think this is a program that had become very complacent, and he's brought energy back. You can see it. You can feel it. That was missing a year ago, or the last 4 or 5 years. So there's more energy now. The fans seem involved, and he's been here. He knows what it takes. He knows what's expected.
And he's going to actually let you guys watch practice, some of the practices.
All right.
And he wants you to be at the spring game. We have to go, so you need to be there too.
We'll do our part.
And the Masters isn't that week, so come on.
No excuse.
There's no reason not to be there. All right. That's going to do it for our first part of the spring preview. We'll be back with the second part. We'll talk a little bit about defense, and Robbie and I are going to pick what we think the Gators' record is going to be.
Don't want to miss that.
You don't want to miss that. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll be back with another segment.